Hi guys, it's Ray from Ray's Turquoise Turtle. Today I am going to continue and finish my test of the J Diction Epoxy resin that they sent me. I have just about finished the bottles with what I just mixed up. Mixed quite a lot because I'm going to do a trinket box. I'm going to do the heart because I can't find the lid to the hex one, which is what I wanted to do. So, and I do not remember exactly how much resin this is going to require. So, I'm going to pour 100 mLs or so off into this cup. And I'm going to use this seafoam glitter on this one, I think, because it's fun and pretty. So that's plenty in there. I'm going to use a mixing stick to stir it up. How beautiful that glitter is. And this is a chunky mix, so some of the fines will probably float to the back, but that's okay. Mixed really well. And I am just going to pour it into the mold to start. Let that work its way down. And some of these boxes are hard to tell which side is which. You don't want to do this side. You want to do this side that has the little bit of a lip for the lid. So and you do want to make sure you fill the lid fairly full. You need that little overhang. To make the lid sit on the box correctly. So I'm going to get something to poke that with, because I can tell it's not filled properly. And I'm just looking around the box itself to make sure there's no air bubbles towards the bottom, and it looks good. So I'm going to set that aside. That's just going to sit and cure. And I'm going to get a little, I'll just use this coffee stir stick, because you do want to make sure you don't have bubbles or empty pockets in your lids. So I believe that is completely full at this point. All right. So I'm also going to sit that off to the side. I think there's still a bubble up here. All right. I'm going to set those off to the side. This resin mixes with very, very little bubbles. I don't know what it is about it, but I don't know if it's just because it's so thin and mixes so nicely, that I think I'm going to be a lot happier with it for the molds than I was for the tumblers. Oops, sorry. I'm going to bring this back a little bit. And since I ended up with so much, I'm just going to go ahead and start filling some letters with it. The heart is, I think, the smallest of the boxes, so I probably way over mixed for that. But I know I need to do a whole bunch of letter keychains. So, and you know what? I may grab, if I know where they are, I will be right back. I was gonna grab some phone grips, but I honestly don't know where they are right now, so I'm just gonna continue on this way. I almost feel like this would be too thin anyways, but I got my big old bucket of glitter down. And I'm going to mix in small batches for medicine cups to do some more. So I'm just going to separate some out. I mixed up 200 mLs to start with, so. And I actually am curious to know what this would do with alcohol ink. So I'm actually going to pour a few. That was messy pour. Just clear. I really need a second one of these molds. Or similar mold. I'll go ahead and do the Z, why not? I'll do a couple more. For the inks, I want them fairly full, but not like over the top. And I think that I might have gone a little too far. So I might have some cleanup to do on that one. But not the end of the world. I'm just going to portion the rest of this out for a couple more glitters. Okay, so I was gonna say I had a couple glitter spoons handy, but I didn't know where they went. Just trying to pick out a couple of cute ones. I'm going to use a little bit of that lipstick fine hollow that I wanted to put on a tumbler. Mix it in. And I will come back to those clear ones for the ink, I promise. I won't forget about them. And let's see, I got some of that in the end here, so I'm just going to go ahead and fill that. around. I got some in the V, and I might not have enough to do the whole V. So I will grab one of my cups and just scrape it out. I'm not going to add more glitter. It's going to be a little bit paler than the other one, but it's fine. Just don't pour it in one place. Spread it around. There, that should be close enough. And next color. Oh, I have so many, it's so hard to pick. I'm gonna go with this one called Nebula. It's like a holographic purple. It's pretty. Try and keep it down on the numbers this time. This one's a little bit bigger a cut. I also have a much fuller cup of resin to start with this time. This glitter is super pretty. Oh my god. Look at that. Should be plenty. Get it mixed in. I'm going to have to get this in some coasters or on a tumbler soon. Even though this is a chunkier cut, I think I could still do a tack it with it. That would be pretty spectacular. I'm going to go ahead and do the W. It's a much bigger letter, so it takes a little bit more. Let's see, those all have just clear. I do like the way this resin is pouring into the letters. The viscosity of it is really, really nice for molds. So I think once I know how hard it's going to be for molds, I may go ahead and get a bigger kit for some molds to give it a little bit further of a test. I mean, the sample is nice, but you really can't get a feel for things on 16 ounces total. I do have a couple little bubbles rising. That's normal and expected. I'm going to grab my white alcohol ink. and a couple of colors. I'm just going to grab like 3 colors of ink. I'm not going to get crazy. I'm going to get my clean cups out of the way. And I'm just going to put a couple drops in. Inks do sometimes stain these molds. I just grabbed a purple, a pink, and a teal Laguna, actually. Okay. And I'm going to use my Pinata Blanco Blanco just as like a sinker. Remember, when you're doing this on keychains, you have a very small amount of resin, and it's very easy to go past a functioning ratio. So don't get too carried away. It's very easy to get to the point where you won't hard cure. And I am not going to add ink on top of those. I'm just going to let them sit and do their thing. So, next cup, next glitter. I'm going to use this Icicle, which is silver, blue, and white. Just going to grab a rag to wipe off my glitter spoon. If I can. Okay. This is kind of a cute mix. First time I'm seeing it out of the bag. Mix it in. Pretty, isn't it? I'm probably not quite going to get to every letter, so I'll go ahead and go with the E. I mix that one a little bit thicker, obviously. I'm going to go with the P. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with the F. I'm just going to have to add some more, but it'll be fine. I'm sure there's enough in these 2 cups to scrape some out. And again, I'm not going to add more glitter. I'm just going to let this one be a little bit more translucent in the end. All right, last cup. I'm gonna go with this Funfetti. I haven't used this one yet, even though it's an older one. But it's all like tiny pastels, almost kind of flat looking glitter. I haven't used it for anything yet, so I'd like to. Kind of neat, different. Who knows how it'll look in the resin? Find out. Alright, so I'm going to go with the H. And the O. And not enough left to even start something else. So, that's it. I'm going to stop there because I am out of resin. So, the bubbles I was talking about rising. You can take... I just had one. You can take a mini mister. These ones happen to be Ranger brand, but there's all kinds of misters out there. Filled with 91% alcohol, just your regular old isopropyl, and just spritz the top, and that will pop the bubbles that are rising to the surface, because you don't really want to put any heat on this kind of mold. These ones are thin and will melt super fast. I'm also going to spritz that heart-shaped mold that I put out of the way. So I will watch them. If some more bubbles start to rise, I will hit it again quick. Hopefully, if I don't forget to check. But I will be back tomorrow to unmold these. I'm not going to go through the whole making them into keychains process. I have videos on that. If somebody wants an updated video on that, let me know, and I can do another one. But for now, I'm not planning on doing that video. So, that is it. We will unmold them and see what I truly think of this resin. Okay, time to unmold these. I'm going to do the lid to the jar first. Look how beautiful that is. Sparkly. Set up really nicely. And the little heart-shaped trinket dish itself. Put my mold back the right way quick. Beautiful. Some of the glitter did sink to what was the bottom, so it does have some clear spots. I'm okay with that. The lid fits on it perfectly. So, how cute. And this is nice and hard. The bigger an item is, the warmer it'll get when you pour it, so the quicker it'll harden up, so to speak. But I'm actually pretty pleased with this resin for this. So I'm going to unmold the keychains. I do know that the ink ones are still a little bit soft, which is to be expected. I mean, you can't like fold them in half, but they usually take a little bit longer to set up. Just because of the additives. So I'm just going to get them all unmolded and then show you. But they definitely did the Petri effect, which was pushing that color to the front. The teal disappeared for the most part. They ended up pink and purple mostly. This one has a little bit of teal, and the backs all look purple for the most part. So, well, that is those ones. I'm actually not too upset with the firmness of them for how long they've been done. And this one I assembled quick. I put a little hook eye in. These you can hand screw in when they're still wet. Not wet. When they're still soft. And I use split rings, you know, mini keychains. I don't like the open jump rings. I feel like the split rings are more secure. Split ring on a little tassel. And then my keychain assembly. Split ring pliers are essential if you're working with them. It has a little hook that holds the ring open. Great little tool. And just some jewelry pliers. I have a flat pair somewhere, but I don't know where they're at right now. So, on to the glitter ones. Some of these, because this resin is so thin, the glitters sink fairly quickly. If you want to avoid that, you can let the resin firm up a little bit before you pour. But I kind of like how thin it was because it really did get in all of the corners quite nicely. So, I don't mind that little bit of clear on the background. I would rather have it sink to this side than float the other way, to be honest. And because it's so thin, I have almost no bubbling on the edges at all. But I think they came out beautifully. This one I have a little bit of flash on. I'll have to pick off. Flash is where you go like over the back a little bit. And the glitter ones are still a little soft, but not bad. And they'll continue to harden up over the next day or two. So, my overall thoughts, this was that little glitter. That one really sunk to the bottom of the mold. It was interesting. But I turned the other one of those into a keychain already, just to show you the finished product. So, overall thoughts on this J Diction resin. I really liked it for molds. I didn't so much like it for cups, and I will not be using it for cups going forward, but I can see myself ordering some when I run low on my other stuff to do more molds with, especially bigger molds that are going to set up quickly. I just didn't like the viscosity on the cups, and I didn't like the finish when it was done. I'm not seeing anything weird on the keychains, but on the cups, it kind of got a strange little bit of a finish. So, yeah, it worked good in the molds, though. So, not too bad. And I will put links to all of the things I use for keychains down in the description below if you want to check that out on Amazon, including the alphabet mold, which I really, again, do need another one of, so I can produce more at once. Because certain letters sell faster than others. So, that is it. Thanks for watching.